Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the No Laying Up podcast. My name is DJ. We're fighting it tonight, guys. We're fighting illness, we're fighting the tech, fighting the dogs, fighting kids. TC, I know you're fighting Christmas parties over down in your neck of the woods. What's going on with you?
I had a trio of Christmas parties today. Solly, I don't have to tell you, it's Florida cold here today, right?
Get a chance to bust out some brand new FootJoy stuff. We just got a shipment in. Thank you very much.
And speaking of fighting, we've also got our resident boxer on the line here, Neil Schuster. Neil, greetings. Happy holidays.
Retired. Greetings.
Retired. 1-0.
1-0. Undefeated. Come on.
Great.
Yeah, it's cold. I don't want to hear about Florida cold. It's just really cold.
Yeah, why don't you guys come walk the dogs up at our neck of the woods here? Tell us how Florida cold it is. Guys, a couple little quick housekeeping things. We are putting this up on our No Laying Up YouTube channel, our main YouTube channel, but I do want to mention we also have an NLU podcast YouTube channel. We've had that going for the better part of this year. It's where we put all of our podcasts. So, we want to do a little cross promotion on this one because we're going to be talking a lot about our personal golf games. And speaking of our personal golf games, TC, you were not on the podcast last week when our good friends at Titleist said, just talk about whatever you want from a Titleist perspective. So they wanted to extend you the same opportunity. They want to use their time to hear what's working for Uncle TC.
That's very magnanimous of them. I'll tell you what is working in a big way, the GT driver. It's good off the tee. Solly, I'd love to get you in my low tee camp. I love teeing it up kind of low, and I can hit this like little bullet stinger with it.
All my tee is going into speed training, and we're going low tee in the ground.
I'm loving the 5-wood right now. I'm in a 5-wood. That part of my game is great. The tee grind, 58 degree. I'm slanging with that thing. Very, very good things happening there. And then biggest revelation
wonderful things are happening.
Let's just go through the whole bag, TC.
I was keeping a count. We got 3.
Oh, I was going to shout out my Newport 2 Plus. It's kind of the wider one. I like using a blade, but I needed a little bit more MOI and a little bit more forgiveness there. So I've been stunting on people with that thing. I putted lights out the last 3 months.
You love to hear it. And as we come to the close of another personal golf year with our friends at Titleist, it's just a big shout out to them for everything, man. Another fun year with those guys, making fun content, doing fun stuff. Always good to hang with the team and just work on bringing stuff to life and getting excited for 2025. So thank you to our friends at Titleist. Visit Titleist.com if you need golf balls, you need drivers, you need wedges, you need putters, you need any of these things TC's talking about. Head over to Titleist.com. We're going to get to a fun one tonight. I think we're going to be looking back. It's going to be a little bit of a rewind on our personal golf games. We're going to talk about some highs. We're going to talk about some lows. We're going to talk about some new courses we saw. We're going to talk about a lot of different things. But a couple news and notes before that, just competitive rundown from around the world of golf this week. Of course, we had Bernhard Langer and his son Jason win the PNC Championship in a playoff over Tiger and Charlie Woods. We had Rory McIlroy and Scotty Scheffler beat Brooks and Bryson at something called the Showdown presented by Crypto.com. Can't wait to talk about that. Cool story in Mauritius, TC. Mauritius. Cool story of Mauritius, TC. Englishman John Perry wins the Afrasia Bank Mauritius Open 14 years after his only other DP World Tour title, like that one. And then down at the Sandbelt Invitational, we had Ryan Peake, Caitlin Pierce, Kayun Mudana, and Amelia Harris are your pro and amateur winners down at the Sandbelt Invitational. There was a cool story, TC, down there at the Sandbelt I saw floating around.
Yeah, Ryan Peake. Garrett Morrison had a great piece in the Fried Egg about Ryan Peake. He had joined a motorcycle gang for like 3 or 4 years, and getting into a bunch of trouble, and then kind of got things straightened out, extricated himself from the motorcycle gang, and here he is winning the Sandbelt Invitational. How about that?
Totally.
Was he the motorcycle gang behind Neil's group?
I was gonna say, just hunting me down everywhere he can for all my slow play.
Well, totally unrelated. I watched the Bike Riders last night, the Austin Butler and Tom Hardy one. It was worth watching. Let me tell you, Neil, it doesn't always work out so well for the people in those motorcycle gangs. They don't often leave and go win golf tournaments. So, shout out to Ryan.
Yeah, remarkable.
I just want to shout out
who knows what Aussie.
I've never heard the term Afrasia.
I was going to say, there's national opens, there's continental opens, and there's double continent opens.
That's a good collab there.
This is an island open. Afrasia is just the name of the bank.
I can't believe I told on myself with that pronunciation of Mauritius. That's
Oh, you know what, dude? You might be right. I might get canceled or something.
no. I think you guys are pretty confident. I feel like you guys are. I feel like you
Oh,
guys are on it.
I have no
Neil, I
confidence in
appreciate
any.
you not weighing in. All right, let's get into it. PNC Championship is where we're going to start, guys. I mentioned this. Bernhard and Jason Longer win in a playoff over Tiger and Charlie Woods. It's their 6th win at the father-son event, the PNC Championship. That you don't call it the father-son anymore, Deej. That's outdated. I would say the main event, probably, I'm sure you guys would not disagree, was Tiger and Charlie shooting 57 in the 2-man scramble portion. And of course, Charlie made his first ever ace at the 176-yard 4th hole. Solly, what was your takeaway here, man? What do the people got to know from the PNC Championship?
Honestly, my biggest takeaway today was the NBC crew just absolutely letting Jason Longer have it today.
For
Just
sure. I
like,
know. I was thinking the
they
same
were
thing.
killing him down the stretch about how much the pressure was getting to him. First of all, it's a scramble, and like he's not like a competitive golfer from anymore.
old
I
is
don't
he?
believe. I
It's
don't know
like
what his
24.
full
I think he
background
played.
is.
I think he played at Penn.
Right, but
He
they
was
were
an
just
Ivy
absolutely
League
like
golfer.
the nerves of the PNC Championship had totally gotten to him. They kept going back to it. I was laughing my ass off the whole time about that one. But a lot of people were up in arms about Bernard Longer teeing it off from the front of the fairway.
Teeing it off from the front of the fairway
I
He
mean,
was
his tee
playing like
box,
6,000 yards.
yeah, it was way up there.
and anchoring and playing slow shit.
Yeah.
God, I'm surprised
three.
they're not on 18 still. I mean, that was I watched just the last hole and it was so slow. It was crazy.
I got to shout out your guy, Jason Solly. I mean, like, not for nothing. Like, he's kind of, I know it's kind of a whatever event, but he's standing there in the 18th fairway, just like staring down Tiger Woods and throwing darts into this par 5.
Sick, yeah.
That was very sick. Yeah.
Only because his dad bailed him out from the front of the tee boxes because he couldn't hit a ball in play.
Yeah, he was hitting pretty. I very much recognize some of those tee balls he was hitting. Some big high rights going on. But
That's the old you, Deej.
that's right. I don't do that anymore. We don't talk about that anymore.
Can I just give a dub to the PNC Championship? I'm pro PNC Championship. I
Yeah.
think it's like the
Sure.
right. No, it is when we get to like the Crypto.com showdown here, we're going to talk about where things kind of go off the rails. It's the right like silly season event. It is the right level of like. It is great for the whole family. Like it is extended. I mean, my wife was probably a little more interested in watching it. If my in-laws or my parents were here, they'd be more interested in watching it. Like it's just a good, healthy balance of like, all right, this is not serious golf, but you're kind of curious to see what happens there. Tiger helps carry that. I get all that, but I weirdly like the PNC. I know we hate everything on this show. I'm pro PNC Championship.
I'll couch my take with I'm not anti PNC. All right. I'm just anti the glazing of the PNC. It's insane some of the shit that people are saying on social about with the Charlie Woods
Oh
Discord.
yeah, that's out of control.
Catch me outside on that. I'm good.
It's a bit of a like if one shining moment came to life and became a golf tournament, but it's I don't know. I had a smile on my face the whole time.
Well,
And I
it's
also
like it's good time of year for it. It's like the holiday
Yeah.
movie, like Love Actually.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's cheesy, but like I'll watch it once a
God,
year.
why am I
you know?
crying
Come on.
over here? What am I crying
Come on, I'll
for?
throw on the Christmas holiday music for while I put ornaments on the tree. Come on.
Anything else from the PNC? Anyone's got a cover down
I wanted
on?
to shout out. I always love the picture every year they take with everybody standing
That is
there.
good.
And Cass Singh had just the most baller scarf on. He was wearing like this wild scarf. It was crazy.
I will say, I don't want to get in the prognostication game of how many majors is Charlie Woods going to win, but I do want to call out credit where credit's due. Short game is nasty right now.
A nice game.
Short game is looking nice, and he's moving the ball off the tee. So that is more of a just watch this space, but it's a pretty big improvement, I think, from last year.
So I didn't know one of my goals like for next year was going to be like to be able to hit the ball at the same swing speed ball speed as Charlie Woods, but that's kind of where I'm at right now.
No,
What's he at?
He touched
was
179 on 18 and didn't look like he was straining for it. So this is not the podcast that's going to get caught up in what is Charlie Woods' golf future, but he's got a tiny little game. That chip on 18 in regulation, which whenever that was like really, really good.
There's one yesterday too from like over that bunker. It was just he might have gifted hands, TC. We'll see.
I'm just glad that Kuchar's older son got the boot
Not there. Yeah.
and the younger son's in now. So
this is TC's beloved photo that he was talking about. If you are not watching this on the YouTube channel, wow, that is a baller scarf. I
right?
missed this photo. Yeah, that's good stuff, man.
Yeah.
Kind of a yeah. I don't know how I would really sum that up. I have to think
Other
about that
thing,
one.
shout out to Eamon Lynch for his tweet this week as well. Get the Golf Digest tweeted the video of Gary Player telling a story about how he shot 64 on Sunday 3 weeks in a row to win 3 weeks in a row. Turns out it wasn't true. It did not
It
happen.
wasn't even close to true.
No. I would have definitely believed it, and he snipped that on Wiki and posted that. I was like, oh, that is the perfect Gary Player moment.
Neil, why don't you take us to the showdown?
Oh
What
my
do-
God. I mean, just the golf event of the year seems like, right? Just some high level overview stats in case you missed it, and it seems like a lot of people missed it. PGA Tour superstars Rory McIlroy and Scotty Scheffler secured a prize of $10 million. They both got $5 million in cryptocurrency by taking victory at the Showdown in Las Vegas. Sally, do you know what kind of cryptocurrency they got? I couldn't find that.
It was CRO. It's like
CRL.
it's the
What? You're our resident
crypto.com.
crypto expert.
Looks like
Is
the
that
crypto.com. Like no, I would have converted that over to Fartcoin immediately.
They were
I'm
gonna
not
do
a
the
CRO.
the hawk coin, they said, but then there was the rug pull situation, and so
That's
yeah,
tough?
yeah.
If you want to say highlights or like, where's the significance here? I guess the event marks the first time that Live Golf and the PGA Tour stars have competed outside of majors and the Olympics. And candidly, it sounded like the competition stunk. I watched a little bit of it, but I was traveling. Scotty and Rory never trailed and only needed 14 holes to secure the victory. The format was, again, kind of my issue with the match series in general is the formats are way too cute and there's just too much going on. It was 3 6-hole matches with 4 points available because the last 6 holes were singles matches. Scotty and Rory won the opening best ball match in 4 holes after Rory drained a 50-footer for eagle, and then Bryson missed his shorter eagle putt there, and it just kind of seems like the Live boys didn't get off the bus. Saw some clips of them rolling around the cart. Bryson's just going ham with the interviews, and Brooks is like telling him to watch out for pedestrians and ropes, and it's just like a lot of moving pieces going on with these matches. A few takeaways for me.
Bryson's jacket started on fire. He took the earpiece.
Yeah, he's
out.
wearing a
with the
parka.
jacket?
It was a big.
I think the
it was a big
takeaways.
Reebok
I just found it
situation.
funny, having Scotty comment on like winning $5 million in crypto. He's like, yeah, I just sure, like I didn't know. I don't know if he signed up for that. Brock Bowers was not a great on-course analyst. Solly, you pointed this out. The tight end for the Raiders. They called him in to do some, hey Brock, how's it going down there? Good, looks great. Just not a lot of juice there. Yeah, it's really fun down here. And then just generally, it seemed like the PGA Tour for sure and TNT, they didn't really promote the event at all. Like it just felt kind of like it was
Well, the
happening.
tour
But then
didn't even
apparently,
acknowledge that like the other guys were even playing in it.
yeah, but apparently there were like a billion Live like people, employees there on site. They had like TV commercials, which I think was kind of part of the deal, like them getting their 45-second spots in during commercial break, which is good stuff. Now, the results, Josh Carpenter from the Sports Business Journal reported, quote, and this is his X post, the Ballyhooed Crypto Showdown, the event the entire golf world had been clamoring for, drew a whopping 625,000 viewers across 2 networks, TNT and TBS, on Tuesday. For comparison, that would rank as the second lowest total ever in the match series. What's your takeaway from the Showdown?
I got a lot of takeaways from it. One, I think it honestly, as pro like Rory and PGA Tour as I've been on this one, like to force this on the PGA Tour after like a big part of what has happened the last several years has been like, hey, if you stage like an unsanctioned event in the United States, like you're going to get suspended, and they like push this through to do this without like the tour's permission to do so. So the tour's
Yeah,
not
Rory's
promoting it.
basically like daring him, right?
Yeah,
I was gonna say, man, some helpful context on why the tour was not promoting this.
Yeah.
Is that the whole thing was just 4 giant middle fingers too.
And there was like
to the PGA Tour.
several moments during it where I'm like, well, yeah, that's why the tour like wouldn't want to promote this. Like Liv had a full commercial in it about all the humanitarian good that they're doing. Like Greg Norman is roaming the range. Bryson's shooting YouTube stuff apparently out there, and like some drama around all that. And like, again, it wasn't, I mean, Josh Carpenter's tweet is tongue in cheek. Like the whole golf world wasn't clamoring for like a hit and giggle between all of you. That wasn't entertaining. Like that's the part, like Brooks and Bryson didn't like partake in the entertainment part of it. They didn't like shit talk. They didn't like have any like, camaraderie. There wasn't any banter going back and forth. It was just this like live event that is awkwardly produced. And like, we'll say the same thing we say after all of these, which is just like the reason why people watch golf on YouTube is because you edit out 80 to 90% of the dead air and uninteresting commentary and uninteresting moments. And like, there's some good little moments sprinkled in. Charles Barkley saying the guy on top of the microphone stand that was above the whole thing said that guy's got to be white because there's no way a brother's going up there. And then they immediately show a picture of a drone. He's like, "Would you fly those in from Jersey?" Like, that was legitimately funny stuff. But then like the rest of it of like trying to get the announcers into the guy's ears and the carts, and that technology is not working, and it works like 1 out of every 3 times. It just is like, I don't know how many times we got to go through this before it's like, I don't know what we're trying to accomplish. It didn't settle PGA Tour versus Live. It did like
together, baby.
Validate Live more than anyone on the tour should want to do. And I don't know, man. It just is like,
it just seems like a money pit. I mean, Deej, I thought you bottom lined it last week when we were talking, in advance of it. You said, I don't think we need more meaningless golf for big purses. We kind of have plenty of that going on in the golf world right now across all the tours. And it doesn't seem to be helping anything that doesn't have like, I don't know, already a brand or tradition or history attached to it. Like anybody rise above the noise.
Yeah. This whole thing kind of feels like it's got that. I feel like I've used this example before, but it's kind of got that snakes on a plane syndrome where just like when it gets announced, everybody's like, "Oh man, this is gonna be, I can't wait, this movie. I can't believe they made this into a movie. This is so
Wait,
crazy."
Are you saying Snakes on a Plane wasn't a good movie?
No, and then I'm just saying like nobody showed up actually. Like, so everyone gets like these big hype machines going for like this is going to be the biggest movie of the summer. Everybody's talking about this. And then everybody just eventually is like, "Well, I'm not actually going to go like see it. I got other shit to do." Is kind of how it seems like these things go. And so to hear all of the like, Bryson and Rory did this as well, but like this is what, we're just trying to do something for the fans. This is what the fans have been missing. This is what the fans want. I'm like, dude, 2 hands up. I know I'm only one person, but like I do not want, this is not what I'm asking for. Just play golf tournaments together. That's kind of like what we're that's all we're talking, man. Like we don't just make less commercials and just play golf tournaments together. Like that's it. And, okay, cool. Well, we'll come up with another series. And then what if it was
$15 million for the next one?
Hold on. Yeah, but what if it was a simulator? Would that be interesting? No. Yeah, what if it's okay, but what if it's the skins game? No, just play golf, just play like Riviera together on the same course. Like that's all I think we're all asking for.
And like Shell's Wonderful World of Golf, widely received, still plays on Golf Channel today. Like, the good thing about that is edited. It was edited. Yeah. I know that goes against like what the most
and it's on interesting courses too.
Yeah, most valuable property in one of the most valuable things you can have in television right now is live sports. That's why people are paying $1 gajillion for it. But like, I don't know. Again, if with those 4 names, the second lowest rated one of all of these is like, we do not need to go down this route tonight. But like, I don't know if golf's coming back from this anytime soon. I mean, truly, I think people are like, we're good. We're going to go find something else to do.
Pro golf. I think golf's in a good spot. Yeah,
pro golf.
Deej, what was Shaq calling it? The money crypto?
I haven't missed that.
Well, and first of all, TC, you were slandering Fartcorn.
Jeff Shackelford. I thought you meant like Shaquille O'Neal. I think he was calling it synthetic money, which is a pretty good way to put it, I thought.
He was going in on Neil's guy BZ. Just all sorts of good stuff.
Fartcoin's up 100% this year at TC as well. So I don't want to hear any farting on Fartcoin.
I don't know.
What's the backing of Fartcoin? What is that tied to?
Don't ask me that. I'm a Bitcoin guy, not a crypto guy.
I saw this TikTok. Did you guys see the TikTok of the guy that for a full year he took a video of himself farting in the elevator for a full every day for a full year?
See that.
I'll send it to you after this. It's so stupid, but it's funny.
There you go. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have too much else on the
I think
showdown.
We're good. Let's move on.
I will say, I thought it got okay. I mean, it's still Scotty Scheffler hitting golf shots. So there were still a couple very similar to, every one of these. Like there's 4 or 5 moments sprinkled in there where you're like, ooh, I can't wait to see, can he pull this shot off or not? I just don't need to sit there for 5.5 hours, like trying to suss out those 4 moments. You know, it's
Rory
like
and Scotty were impressive. Like
they
that
played
was
great. Yeah.
those greens were so firm, like too firm. I think that was one of the few times I've ever watched pro golf on greens that were like too firm.
Dude,
And
every time they go there now, like it's the same thing when the LPGA plays their match play there. It's sick. They get that place so dialed.
And to see Bryson kind of retreat away from like the new fun Bryson was like very disappointing too. Like he was like taking his earpiece out and just like not participating in the fun. And like, let's stop trying to pretend Brooks and Bryson like each other. Also, like the whatever, they're playing cool because they're both under the Live umbrella now, right? But those guys still like do not like each other, and very clear they had no team chemistry at all.
Well, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know what's going to happen with the rest of this series. I feel like I don't know. I got to read some more reporting on this, but I
When in
think
doubt, they
I don't know
just
if
need
the
to
contract is.
simplify it, dude. It's
But
just so there's no through line to any of them. It's just a waste of time at this point.
I feel like I've heard that this was kind of the last one in the contract, and I don't know if they're. I don't know. I don't know where they go from here. I don't know if they're doing more of
And
these.
technically, well, I don't even know if it was a match. It was the showdown.
Well,
Like,
they
it
had to
wasn't.
change it because like different people were involved or something. So that again, it all just like speaks to this big erector set that is just gotten so out of control that I don't think anybody's really interested in seeing how it gets finished up. But
Charles Barkley's rant on the state of pro golf also was epic. It was like it was very much we award you no points and may God have mercy on your soul. Like there was no through line to any of it. He was mad about the fields changing sizes, I think, and he didn't really have a good like
He's pro mule.
clear mission on it, but it was very entertaining.
but also, yeah, it was a lot of like the fields can't get smaller, but also like guys need to get paid, and also the stars need to get paid, and also it needs to come together. But also it's
They're all
good that these.
f-
It's also
free
good that these guys
agents.
took the money, and yeah, it was just. I think that kind of sums it up, man. There's no real great answer for this whole situation. Listen, it contains multitudes.
Let me tell you something, Brian. Let me tell you
Yeah.
something.
TC, let me throw it to you because I think there's a transition into our next period. We're gonna try to reunify golf, right? We're gonna try to bring all this shit. We're gonna flip it at the bottom, and get this stuff going back together. Who's who's gonna help us do that? The PGA Tour announced a new position this week.
Well, first of all, the guy that's really going to help us do all that is Arthur Blank, who's leading the search committee for the new PGA Tour CEO, or I guess the CEO of PGA Tour Enterprises.
Well, then it's definitely gonna be Rich McKay, TC.
Yeah, I was going to say
continues to
the
fall
same guy that
apart.
brought us Bobby Petrino, Rich McKay, Thomas Dimitrov, the whole Kirk. Like they're going to pay to Kirk Cousins $92 million or $90 million for 14 games.
Also, like, does Arthur Blank need some stuff to do?
Yeah,
You know,
evidently,
like
man,
he's starting
right?
TGL teams. He's trying to find a new PGA Tour CEO. That
Yeah.
just seems like I don't know. It's not how I'd want to be.
Anyway, so they're according to Jay, quote, everything is on the table. Everything. They're pulling all sorts of stuff from the fan surveys and everything that they did. CEO will handle all the business affairs for the PGA Tour, which I guess everybody's question was like, what does that make the commissioner?
Well,
My
wasn't
first take
Jay
on it,
named
yeah.
the CEO like in one of these hundreds of press releases? Like he was supposed to be the CEO of
Yeah, and then he
PGA
said,
Tour
"This is my
Enterprises?
idea," and they're carrying through with it. But I'm reading it as, and then Jay joins the board of Enterprises and the board of the PGA Tour, which he was not on prior. So I think, in my opinion, it sounds like the PGA Tour quote unquote commissioner is essentially like a glorified head of player relations, right? It's basically like, hey, you're head of competitions and player relations, and then all the other, like all the really important stuff and the corporate stuff is all handled by the CEO. So a
That's how,
lot of
just pausing there. That sounds like a like cataclysmic demotion, right?
Well,
well,
no,
I
it
think
feels like
should've been.
maybe a graceful exit over the next year, and
I
then
think
a
this
nice,
is way
nice
out.
jump out of the airplane and let that golden parachute open up and just
Yeah.
drift to the ground slowly but surely.
The word is Jay at the end of 2025 or beginning of 26, potential massive golden parachute too, which should thrill the all the players who already feel that he's so fairly compensated. But yeah, and then there was the whole rollout of it. Jay hopped on. There was a video on all the social platforms. The replies to the video were unbelievably horrible, just
great.
vitriolic. Jay, they really bad cut of Jay saying Century Tournament of Champions. They cut that out. in there. Again, everything is on the table, though, guys. Everything is on the table.
kept
It's
saying
all
that.
about our fans. And yeah, I'm told that the tour board didn't vote on a budget for 2025 yet, and but a deal is quote unquote done for Live and the PGA Tour. They're basically just waiting out
Piff in
the
the PGA Tour.
administration, or yeah, PIF and the PGA Tour. I'm sorry, and they're basically just waiting out the administration. But it sounds like Live will continue on in some form or fashion. Which, man, how did we not get to this deal like 2 or 3 years ago? I thought that was the whole thing. Like they just put a stake in the ground and said, "Hey, Live can't exist anymore." But here we are. The CMO, the new CMO of the tour, Andy Whites, who we spoke glowingly of a few weeks ago, and you know, we've had great talks with him. He's a very real human being. He popped on to Golf Channel with Rich Lerner in one of the most awkward, poorly staged hits I think I've ever seen before. If you're watching on our YouTube channel, you can see he's in some sort of situation room where they're trying to show off the new PGA Tour studios.
You just
Which
pause
it
real
looks
quick.
like a sick room, but I just don't like who's the guy in the fedora? Is that TC?
There's a if you're not watching this on YouTube, there's a like oh man, it's a tough one. Andy is sitting there and it looks almost green screen sort of, but there's like a bunch of TVs behind him, and on those TVs is just like a guy getting interviewed outside of a spa who has like a blue kind of like houndstooth blazer kind of vibe with a fedora on. It's just it's sensory blitzkrieg, I think, to borrow a phrase from our guy Brandel. And then like all the answers, like it almost
Just
sounded like they
bad.
recorded it
Yeah.
like in advance. Like it sounds like AI almost. It's just is like it's just not it, man. It's just
The
not
one good thing
not
was
it.
the S&P financial graph in the background
It's green.
was in the green as opposed to when Jay hopped
Change?
on down 1,000 or whatever when they were insistent
right-
upon announcing the media deal, the players back
Right when
in
COVID was
2020.
hitting.
So jury's out on all this stuff. The tour, I think there's big changes afoot, but we'll get to some of that later on in the episode. Let's get to the fun stuff now.
Let's do that indeed. I think that's going to kind of close the book, at least for now. We got a couple quick hits. We're going to have TC go down the notebook at the end of this episode. But before we get there, we're going to talk a little personal golf, guys. We're going to talk about our own games. We're going to just kind of open up. Everybody lay on the couch a little bit. Let's unpack.
We're doing it in a fun
What
way.
happened?
Don't turn it off yet. Like that might sound boring, but we got some fun in here. It's we're not taking you shot by shot through our year.
I'm going to start.
Speak for yourself, Solly.
That's right. A lot of directions we could go here. So I'm going to start with you, and we're just going to kind of all level set before we really get into the prompts, the meat and potatoes here. So I want to start with you. What grade would you give yourself on the golf course this year, and what 3 words would you use to describe your golf year?
I gave myself a B plus, despite not playing under 50 rounds. I think it was. I got to my goal of 10 rounds under par, which I was kind of modeling that off of hopefully playing 80 plus rounds. I had some, I was just kept a better mojo on the golf course this year. Didn't get as upset. With a few exceptions, which I think we'll cover down here. And I would say for my 3 words, it's boring, but raised the floor. Like we have effectively raised the floor, and I'm looking to do some more of that in 2025, and I think I've got a good plan to do that.
The ceiling is the roof, potentially. God, I mean, I would sign up for that right there in 2025. That's what I'm going for.
Sure.
In that case, let me jump in with mine because I don't have a lot to say. I'm going to give myself a C minus, and my 3 words are going to just be "Who am I?" It's just like what am I doing?
What are you,
What-
Zoolander?
Speed
what am
freak.
I- yeah.
Philosophical.
I'm like,
You're
what
a
am I?
man, DJ.
What
You're
am
a
I?
man.
What am I trying to do right now? I feel like I'm, I've kind of driven all over the road with my golf game over the last decade. I feel like for a long time, it's just the ultimate field player, out there just carving shots and having a blast. Now I've kind of tried to turn into a little bit more of a technician to raise my floor. It's made golf like I'm just not posting any good scores. It's a very weird. I feel a little in the wilderness right now, which is frustrating because I feel like I have more tools at my disposal than ever. And I also have like less time than ever to use them. So it's a weird combo. And there's a lot of good that happened. And I do feel like we built a little bit of a foundation. We've got some foundational pieces in place, but that's going to be my question going into the off season here is just figuring out who are we? What are we trying to get out of that? TC, does that any of that resonate with you?
It does. It does. Although DJ, I know exactly who I am. I'm the rat. All right. Rat
Is that your
mode
3 words?
activated.
I'm the rat.
I'm the rat. Yeah, you could say that. I felt like this year when my back was against the wall, I was out in LA. I was a member guest at Bel Air, out till 4:30, 5 a.m., 7 o'clock tea time the next morning. Went out and shot like one of my top 3 rounds of the year. Also, got this trophy against you guys
Of course, holding up the
in
Maurice
some
Claret jug.
in some awful conditions. I think I went into the Aaron Hills Club Championship, hadn't played a bunch of golf, and dug it out of the dirt, baby. So I'm the rat.
What's your grade?
The rat is here.
Okay.
I'd like to just extinguish the rat or bring the rat out full time because I feel like when the conditions are actually easy, the rat doesn't show up, and I suck.
You should get one of those big Scabby the Rats for the club championship this year. Park that
Blow it
outside
up.
of the golf course.
One
Yeah.
of the blow up ones that the union
Oh
put up.
shit, the rat's here.
Exactly.
No scabs and
Or
scabs
that
on
at the
building.
NIT. I think that'd be good stuff.
Uh,
That
Neil,
was
what do you got?
So I also give myself a B plus. I was thinking A minus, but let's keep it conservative. We'll go B plus.
I love that nobody went A. That's good. Everybody's still hungry
I
for
left
more.
some stuff
Yeah.
out there, but my 3 words were shout out to DJ's boy Bob Ross, Neil's happy accident. I mean, my goal this year with it, bringing a child into the world was let's not get worse, and we got better, and we were pretty efficient, and we found places. We challenged ourselves with some competitive golf, and I think I was happy with the results there, and the I played some good stuff this year, but there's a lot to clean up heading into next year. So it's like,
Including that reverse
how do we
spine
stay
angle.
down? How do we stay down here in some, kind of lowest we've ever been territory? Jacques Cousteau stuff for the czar.
To make sure you don't get the bends.
Exactly.
Deej, I know you're seeing the light on this, but basically, based on how you described it, if you're talking about having the least amount of time and not sure where to go, keep stacking all winter.
Exactly.
So I swear to God, the best
No, I totally agree.
time spent per stroke improvement is the stack. I steadfastly believe that.
I totally agree. I feel like, Neil, I was thinking about it. I couldn't get it into 3 words, but I almost feel like you and I have joked a lot about it. Like when you grow your hair out, you go through that valley of ashes of that
Sure.
period of just like, what are we doing right now? Why
It's
am I
really
doing this?
inconvenient.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel right now. It's like I do feel like there's a big breakthrough on the horizon. I feel like I'm looking pretty silly at the moment. So I just
Sure.
need to keep sticking to the process and getting through it. But all right. So before we get into some more of the specifics, I want to say that the rest of this episode is brought to you by the Jin Rewind from the USGA and Century Insurance. Available now on your USGA GHIN app. The 2024 Jin Rewind has evolved from a single-page overview to a multi-slide interactive experience for golfers to dive deeper into their season. Highlights include handicap index changes throughout the year, best and toughest rounds, easiest and hardest courses you played, total number of rounds posted, and when and where you played the most. Do not miss out in 2025. If you don't already have a handicap index, now is the perfect time to sign up and download the USGA GHIN app presented by Century Insurance so you can post your scores, track your handicap index, and unlock personalized golf insights like Jin Rewind. Sign up for a handicap index today at usga.org/getahandicap and download the USGA GHIN app to prepare for an amazing 2025 season. You can easily share your GHIN Rewind with your friends on social media to compare who had the better season. Tag the USGA. They want to see them all. Tag us. We want to see them all. And looking forward to seeing what kind of numbers everybody posted this year.
Deej, can I just say like one quick anecdote? I when we were playing at Pinehurst, when we filmed that video, that was US Open Media Day, and Ben and I played with one of the board members of the USGA, and I think he asked me on the 13th hole, like, hey, how do you think we're doing? Like, what could we do better? And I went off for about 2 holes on the GHIN app, and like, yo, man, there's just so much, like, you could do so much with that. That should be the super app for golf. And like, why can't we do more with like a rewind? And so he like immediately, like 2 days later, connected me with the product team. And so I was looking at this stuff over the summer, and I do want to say one thing. It's just like scores this year. And, there's some good insights in this rewind, but stats are on the horizon. Like, if you plug in your stats, I think that's going to bode well for like this rewind's going to get better and better. So I'm excited. It's cool to see them like taking some action. They're building out an app team, and it's been fun to see the progress. So seriously, shout out to you, SGA.
It's
And
not
shout out to
just
you
scores.
for getting some
too.
action going, huh?
It's
What's that?
Shout out to you for getting some action going.
Well, yeah, I was kind of like, oh God, maybe I said too much, but no, it's a good thing. It's like, hey, I just think that the app should be like their main marketing. It's such a good, the app is like should be
People
central to
will
you.
pour over their own golf data. Like if you present
Yes.
it in an entertaining way. I mean, people will
I
obsess
still have
over
And
this.
and other people's golf data too.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, I know. And so some of that too is like, how Whoop has the community stuff. Like, hey, I'd like to be able to create some groups with my buddies around the country. Like,
Totally.
kind of keep tabs on, not everybody, right? I know that was an issue of like, we don't want to be looking up CEOs and how much they're playing. But if I authorize somebody to look at the GHIN, they should be able to look at it. So anyway, I don't want to bog us down, Deej. Take us wherever you want.
All right, so where I want to take us first is I want to quiz you guys a little bit. I don't know how much you guys dug into everybody else on the team's Jin Rewind, but I want to ask you a couple questions, and these the participants or the potential answers to these questions, of course, are the four of us. It also includes Randy, and also includes KVV, Cody, Ben, and Casey. All right, the
Right.
NLU squad, not Jordan. Jordan's got some shoulder stuff going on. She's not playing a lot of golf, so she's not omitted, but she's not included in these answers. So starting with question number 1, whose handicap on the NLU team went down the most?
Casey.
I would say Casey.
I'd say Randy.
The answer is Solly.
Really?
Solly got 3 shots better, went from a 1.6 to a plus 1.4, according
Wow.
to the
Really?
data. Yeah, I was just as shocked as you, my man.
So not that anyone cares, but I guarantee what this is usually courses get firm right around now or as of like 2 months ago down here. And I get to play the most golf in Q4 and my scores shoot way up. Obviously, I've not been on a golf course in quite some time, and I've not gotten like rounds from soft summer conditions off my card in time. So I think that's a little. I am not 3 shots better, but
Not a complete body of work. Appreciate the context there,
that,
Solly.
the same. I go through the same flow every year. My handicap gets low in the summer and then shoots up in the winter. So
Casey improved 1, Randy improved 2. So
Dang, I thought
yeah.
Casey was at an all-time low. I thought she was.
She's
Maybe
getting
she is.
there. We had to
Yeah.
lock in the data at some point. I think she's like her GHIN has gone down a little bit even in the last week. So
Okay.
new precincts are reporting.
All right,
but
so recency bias for me. Maybe
the
just
data was
Broward,
data was already
Broward County's coming in.
exactly
sure.
the less fun one. Whose handicap went up the most on the team?
Oh, this is a tie. I think it's the Pie Man.
Interesting.
No offense, Leach.
That's all right.
think it's
My handicap
know.
went up 3rd most. I'll tell you.
I think it might be KVV.
KVV's went up the 2nd most.
Is it
Ben?
Cody?
It is Ben. TC.
Ben.
You're exactly right. Ben went from a plus 2.4 to a plus 1.1. Still, holds some big ass trophies. Got some big scalps this year, but he's, his handicap did go up the most.
I think that reflects poorly on all of us.
Exactly. Well said. Related, and I put this in here because it's close. Who won the NLU scoring average title in 2024?
God, you want to say? I think it's Solly. I want to
I
say
did.
Ben, but I know that Ben was struggling with. He couldn't go low this year. He had a
Yeah.
lot of stuff in like the.
I don't think Britt broke 70.
71, 72.
Solly 75.0, Ben 74.9.
Oh, okay. Wow. So,
Dang.
all right. That's crazy.
Which I think is a fun title to have on the line for kind of our whatever that would be.
Who's third?
Tour even calls that.
But that just rewards also like some, because that's not against
Yeah,
rating either. That just rewards
Sure.
like playing some easy courses too.
which
Or
I definitely
lower.
I teed it forward a fair amount this year. I was not afraid to do so. So
I'm going off the data I have. The Czar, you were. Oh no, I'm sorry. Tron was 78. Neil was 78.5.
Okay.
That was 3rd and 4th.
That's down for me too. I think it's down like a half stroke, which I love seeing that average come down.
All right. Who on the team posted the most rounds?
Got to be Casey.
I think it's Casey.
It is
It's like
Casey.
Casey. Yeah.
Casey had 65. TC 61.
Okay.
That's a close one. She's gonna be tough to catch.
I played a lot of alt shot this year though, and a lot of like 9-hole matches and stuff that I couldn't post. I think I played more golf this year than I had in the last 3 or 4 years. So
You need some work to do, TC.
no, I just play. I
Just those
binge
rounds
for
down.
like
This
20
is work,
rounds over
HR.
like
Get out of here.
20 rounds in like 12 days, and then I won't play for a month, kind of thing.
Who on the team posted the fewest rounds?
Randy.
Cody.
No, actually, yeah.
It's Cody.
It is
Cody
Cody.
doesn't play that much down in Texas, does he?
I don't play. We're working all the time, TC. I don't know how you get away with these numbers.
I played like 7 times at home. All my scores were on the road, man.
Makes it more impressive.
Cody had 15 rounds posted. I had the second least with 24. We're gonna change that.
How is that?
Short season.
Are you not posting?
I thought,
some
yeah,
stuff?
dude, you're playing. I feel like you're out there playing
play
9
all
holes
the
with
time.
Justine.
We were saying that on the goals pod that we just recorded as well. TC, I'm like you. I played a ton of like alt shot scramble stuff with friends. I played a lot of solo golf where I'm out there just hitting 3 balls off the tee.
You've lost to AJ Ellis like 18 times. How have you only logged 24 rounds?
No, but that's what I'm saying is like I'm not posting enough scores. My handicap should be way higher, but I'm not posting any like bad scores. So I need to like, I'm just ripe for the taking right now.
I literally just don't play golf, so that's not my issue. I haven't played since the NIT.
Well,
I need you to give me some more hope as the father of 3. I need you to give me more hope than that, Cody.
Hey,
Look at my
question for
numbers.
the
That's
group.
where you're going, dog.
At what point does it become a debate whether you can log simulator scores?
I was thinking about this the other day. I know. I could see that being one of those like easy grow the game type of thing, like conversation.
I will not be partaking in that debate. They're simulators.
No, I won't either. I think some of these bandits are gonna look for that debate, seek that out.
All right, last question on my quiz here. I think you guys will all get this one. Who had the biggest outlier score of the year? And that is saying the gap between their average score and their lowest score.
That's definitely Randy.
That is definitely Randy. I'm not even going to draw that one out. Randy's average for the year was 85, and he shot 72.
I think he had a 96 and an 8 and a 72. That's so sick.
And Ben, to your guys' earlier point, had the smallest variance. His average was 74.9. As I mentioned, his low was 70. So he was just kind of living right there.
Snorkeling.
Exactly.
Fun.
Exactly. I wanted to ask you guys what was one interesting kind of insight that you guys had from your own rewind. The thing that stuck out to me was I posted 0 rounds on Sundays, which has got to be the first year that's ever happened. Just kind of a funny one. But Neil, what'd you have?
Well, I've got a couple. The first is, and it just kind of makes me laugh every year. I posted 35 rounds. I played 29 different courses. I never play the same course. I rarely play the same course twice. And that's probably up from years past of like playing, it used to be probably like 33 rounds and, 31 new courses. You know what I mean? Like just, so I think that helps. I feel like I'm a solid 1.8 or 1.9, whatever it is right now. Of like, there's every time I finish a round, I'm like, God, I would have loved to go out and play. If I knew that was there, I would love to. I wouldn't have hit that club, so I don't have like a home course knowledge that you can really just get in a groove and like you're on autopilot, on what like course management. So I kind of like that though. It's fun. And then the other thing,
can I butt in here, Neil? I want to do a video idea. I'm doing this live. I've just thought of this. I want like a Neil boot camp week where like we go to just like a somewhat, not a hard course, not an easy course. And like, we just go, like we follow it and film it and you play 36 a day. Like, I want to see, like, if you play the same course 10 times in a week,
a sick idea.
Like, I want to see how low you can go. Like, I think you'd break par like 3 times.
Yeah. Cause
kind of the Sweetens.
So
the
I'll give,
effect.
so I played Roost Club Championship, played Sweetens 5. No, sorry. I'd say definitely 36 holes. I think 54 holes total. Yeah. 6 loops. Like 18 and then 36, whatever that would add up to. Is that no? Sorry, 18 and 30. So 54. It was a 50. Like I played 18 holes as a practice round. You're getting me bogged down. Anyway, I played that course legitimately 100-hole hike. I've played it so much, and I fucking light that place up. Just because I know every spot on that course, and it's like I just don't have another course like that in my life right now. Like even the course TC and I grew up on, like they've renovated it like 3 times since we like grew up on it. I go out and play there with my parents. I get my ass kicked. There's just like no home track anymore. Anyway, I'm digressing. I actually pulled a couple graphics of my stats that this is not in the Jin Rewind, but I logged 18 of my 35. I posted, like fairways, greens, and putts. And I wanted to get you guys' reaction to some of those. So greens in regulation, 54%. Missed 18% to the right, 4% to the left, 16% short, 8% long. And then driving accuracy, 54% of fairways hit. And a pretty equal split. Missed 20% right and 26% left. The left miss is certainly in play. Anything stand out to you guys here? I'm just live first impressions.
I would have anticipated more long.
Yeah, I think that's it. That's where everybody's eyes going to go. Who watches a lot of our videos would have anticipated more long. I think that short right miss is, you're right-handed golfer. That's common.
See,
Right?
short can mean a lot of things though. Like if you hit a poor drive and you're, can only get it up near it doesn't mean you're in the middle of the fairway and just leaving it short,
Sure.
right?
But I will say, Solly, I thought about this as well. I do feel like the kid has been dying slowly. Of like I have missed long a lot less. Now in some high pressure situations when the red dot is on, I'm still good for an airmail, but it's gotten better, especially this year. But I'm making pars 50% of the time. Anything stand out to you guys here on the par 3, par 4, par 5 scoring? Anything on this slide?
Par
would
3
do some
scoring
Plus is
average.
a lot.
We can get that down. Just are you
I
aiming too
know.
much at pins on par 3s?
Maybe
yeah.
I'm not the best iron player. I think sometimes it's just not. I wouldn't say that's the or a mid to long iron player is probably a weakness of my game. I feel like I'm pretty good from inside. Pretty good from inside 120. I'd like to be better. But
Neil, I think biggest thing here is just a goal for you for 2025 should be to get that par 5 scoring average under
I
par.
know that's what stuck out to me too, TC. I just
The
don't
lowest hanging fruit.
don't make it happen on the par 5s like I should. I feel like I let those get away a lot. So anyway, that's my interesting stuff, Deej. We can move on.
Tell me
like
this, Neil, real quick. If I asked you if you would have aimed at the center of the green on every par 3, do you think your scoring average would be lower than 3.51 on par 3s?
I mean, likely.
Yeah,
But
something to think about for
sometimes it's just like
2025.
sometimes I'm just like maybe I'm just not that good of a ball striker sometimes.
Also, sometimes that's just not fun.
Yeah,
Very
that
true.
too.
Sometimes I just want to party.
Very
Neil's
true.
playing the century instead of the decade,
Exactly. TC, what about you? What stuck out from your Jin Rewind?
So it's a little funky. Like there's two courses at my home club. There's the Ocean course, which is like super wide, very, very generous off the tee. Like fun golf course, par 71. Once you get through the first 5 holes or so, you can kind of pin your ears back and score a little bit. There's another course, the Lagoon course, which is it's rated so easy. Like the blue tees are like 68.4. It's like a par 70, but there's 6 par 5s, 6 par 3s, 6 par 4s, and it's fucking hard. Like,
I agree.
and they've been growing the rough up on it, and the green's really firm. It's normally pretty windy out there, and so it was just like I think if I wanted to like raise my handicap but get better at golf at the same time, I could go out there and play all the time, and I would turn into like a 4 handicap. I would be flushing it.
Sorry,
Yeah.
can you just go back for a second? TC started the year as a 2.1 and he finished the year as a 2.1. That needs to be called out. Like that's the stat, brother. That's
Yeah.
incredible.
I mean, I got down under 1, and then like I played 43 different. I really played like 46 different courses, I think. But like playing a lot of different courses, just not getting a lot of consistency on the same courses. The lowest score was kind of it was pro-am for RSM. It was a 69. I made 6 birdies, but like, pins were in the middle of the greens and there was no wind on Seaside, like easiest day out there.
Practically a pro-am setup.
But hardest course I played all year, Western Gales, in relation to like the rating, 76, and I shot 72 out there. And that was truly a back against the wall rat mode. I was exhausted. The weather was
no one
awful.
believed in us.
And yeah, like that was only time I'd seen that golf course. I'm smitten by it. I love the place. But I imagine if I went back out there and played again, I would shoot like 82. Like that was just the luckiest round of the year. So
Solly, what about you? Anything stick out?
The course I played the second most this year, it was a tie with Marsh Landing and Erin Hills. I was
that?
I didn't get to any course. I played my home club, Timuquana. I think it was 20 rounds. I got in out there, but nowhere else did I play more than 2 rounds at. Was something that stuck out to me. And honestly, the handicap shave, it didn't fully registered for me. I think because I started the year so well. Like in January, I posted the 65 and posted a few other rounds in the 60s, like before mid-February, I think, and got my handicap into that plus range, and it just kind of hovered there for a while. So it didn't feel like I actually cut 3 strokes out this year because it all happened so long ago, and also just haven't touched a golf club. 88 at Royal Melbourne East. I had to enter that one. That was the back day out there.
That was before we got the horse cream too.
It was before the steroids
People
came
forget
along. But that was one that.
Can we talk about Bonnie Doon for a second? Was listed as the easiest course I played in 2024.
Tell you what, brother, I did not feel.
I did not feel that. I thought
day.
that was an impressive 65, but maybe an asterisk on that.
Did you enter the handicap? I looked that up. It was like a 71 course rating or something on there. You might have not entered that right. I'd be surprised that was the easiest.
Or you might just play bangers only.
Yeah, I get. I mean,
San Jose's rated as 75.
San Jose, since it got redone, is very, very, very difficultly rated. I don't know.
Your easiest course, Bonnie Doon.
That's yours. This is yours again. Yeah.
Did we play I thought we played the YTs, right?
I don't know.
I
thought we played the backs, whatever that was. I thought we played in a different group. You may have played up. I played the back tees in my
Potentially.
group, so.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that was a good round from you. So
thank you. I
Trying to
appreciate
give you shit.
Thank you.
A couple other ones from the rest of the team. Stuff I thought was fun. Randy played 28 rounds over 25 courses. I thought that's a fun.
He's a man without a home.
Line, truly.
Yeah, I feel that.
4 of the 9 team members shot their low round of the year at Dobson Ranch, which again was an interesting one.
That's kind of impressive, honestly, because those greens, like, it was a weird combo of like firm and slow.
Right. And then another one at the end of the year. So, when we stopped counting here, KVV technically a 9.9, which means that 8 of our 9 staffers are single-digit handicaps. The haters can taste it on that one. Casey, of course, the lone non-single digit, but I wanted to point out she is down 3 full shots since joining NLU. So shout out to Casey. I asked the rest of the squad for some fun stuff. Ben said his fun fact was that his 3 lowest rounds of the year were all in competition. So then I pressed him. I was like, well, what are these competitions? One was the NIT, one was the tall grass member guest, and one was, quote, beating Solly's ass at the new course.
I fucking knew it. Like, he careered that day. That was such bullshit. There's no
I
win.
love that he's calling the NIT a competition. That gets me going too.
And a one-on-one match against Solly. I think that's an interesting use of the word competition.
It wasn't a close competition.
Casey said she would have sworn that she played most of her rounds during the week, but that was not the case. 46 of her 65 rounds were on the weekend because she was just at the 5-iron golf simulator and the par 3 course too much during the week. So thought
Having too much fun.
Exactly, just truly having too much fun. And then the last one from KVV, I really enjoyed this. He wanted to shed some context on his highest round of the year, which was 97. He said, "This is a quote." My worst score in relation to par, 97, came on a day when Keegan and I played in an NLU Roost event, Keegan, his daughter, where I spent the entire front 9 in dad mode, desperately trying to prevent her from being a shit because she had never played a tournament with adults before. I had just given her a new TSR1 driver, and she was driving the piss out of it. So despite her attitude, she shot 47 on the front while I shot 51. I wanted the first time she beat me to be some epic thing, something she'd earned after years of falling short. So I grinded my face off trying to track her down. I couldn't do it. She shot 96 to my 97. Afterward, I talked to her in the car like I was interviewing her, trying to build up the enormity of the accomplishment. And she was like, yeah, it was fine. I expected to beat you. You weren't playing good. I really, really enjoyed that from KVB. So shout out to the USGA and the GHIN Rewind, because it was.
Go check yours out. It's
really
fun. I was actually out to dinner with some people last night, and they were like, "Oh my god, we've been sharing it back and forth. It's good good banter in the group threads."
All right, guys, a couple prompts I wanted to put up here. So first one, What was your favorite golf course you played for the first time in 2024? TC, I know there's a lot of different directions.
God, yeah, Deej, I was picking from a list that included Dunbar, Has My Heart, Muirfield was awesome, Prestwick, Western Gales, Colorado Golf Club, the reversed Old Course,
Of course.
Lido, a few
name a
others,
few.
Ocean Dunes. But man, I got to go with Royal Adelaide. I
Mm.
loved it. I
9.
loved it. Loved
Kept
it.
it under
It
10.
was, yeah. And Sally caught this drone shot. This is actually my favorite like outro of any video we've ever done. With that
Yeah.
song playing in the background, Taurus Sus, episode 2 from our most recent season. And man, I loved it. The course just it gets off to a fair but straightforward start on 1 and 2, and then it gets really, really weird the rest of that front 9 in a really good way. And that porch, the train, just all of it. I adore that place. And Tim and Louie and all the hospitality down there just keeps me yearning to go back.
That was an all-time day. It's hard to argue with that one. Solly,
Harry,
what about you?
You can keep that image up on the screen because I landed at Royal Adelaide. It would have been too easy to choose Augusta National. It would have been too easy to choose, the reverse Old Course. I do keep thinking about. It's just a place where I remember watching on TV several years ago when the LPGA ladies were there. I think that was I assume for the Australian Open. And I'm watching that third hole and just be like, man, the place literally probably can't be much farther away from home than I am right now. I bet I'll never go to that place. And getting to go play it and see it in person, it was like even better than I imagined. And we just had such an awesome day out there. I loved Adelaide. So that was where my mind went.
Neil, you're going a different direction than Royal Adelaide.
I am. I'm going a much different direction. I am not a top 100 chaser, but man, I knocked off some good ones this year. Straight up, Cypress, Fisher's Island, San Francisco Golf Club, Cow Club. I love them all. But do you know the course I've thought about a ton? And it's because I used to live in the city, and it was such a shithole when I was there, is the Golden Gate Par 3.
Oh, okay.
In Golden Gate Park. It is unreal what they've done with this small little pitch and
Jay
putt.
Blasi.
And
Hell yeah.
it was awesome. I went out there with my buddy Ross and Zach and Tommy Armour the fourth, and we had a blast. Just played a quick 9-hole loop, and it's like I think they put like $8 million into it. It's now the head of the first tee in San Francisco. They built a little bar and clubhouse. They got a driving range into a net, and it was awesome. Everybody was nice and happy. It's in the middle of not in the middle. It's out like by the ocean in Golden Gate Park. And when I lived out there, it was such a dump. Like it sucked. And honestly, now when I see the way the shape that the Flushing Meadow pitch and putt is in, it's in terrible shape right now. It's
Steve
just
Cohen,
like, damn.
Step your ass
straight
up.
up. Steve Cohen, get your shit together out there. Our new overlord. Redevelop everything else around Citi Field except for the pitch and putt. Unreal. Anyway, I was just kind of blown away because I knew what it was like when I was there. And it just gave me this nostalgia of like, God, I wish I would come play here all the time if I still lived out there. And I just feel like every city should have a pitch and putt like this. And I'm really happy to see the city and it was public-private deal, kind of like what they did at Harding Park. And it's just like, this is what success looks like. You want to grow the game, do shit like this.
Man, here. That gets me
Outreach.
fired up, Neil. I need to go see that place. I will go next. My honorable mentions list looks a lot like your guys'. I played a lot of these rounds with you guys. All the stuff in Australia, obviously. Old Course in reverse, the Lido. But I am going to go to the one right across the street from the Lido, Sedge Valley. You guys are
Been talking about this place.
you guys are gonna love it.
glowingly.
It's so sick. This is like one of the late par threes.
That pick is
on
so
the,
sick.
on the
dude.
back nine. That's like from the tee box. Like that's what you can see the little tiny peak of the flagstick over the kind of bunker and waist area there. It's just it's so cool, man. I was thinking about why I liked it so much, and I think I wrote about this in the kind of what's burning at the kill house that KVB was doing the other day. But a lot of these great golf courses, are all end up being like very strategic second shot golf courses. And a lot of us just like straight up are not good enough to consistently hit it in the fairway and have a chance to actually like have those shots. And I feel like Sedge, they just shrunk the whole package down enough that you kind of feel like you have a fighting chance on every hole. It's par 68. It's a very small footprint, but you're just constantly like you're constantly in the game. And what is fun about that is for a bad player, like obviously you feel like you have your head above water and you're not, playing from behind the 8 ball with bad tee shots all day. But for a good player, you have a chance to hang yourself on every hole. Every hole is just like, come on, dude, it's not that hard. Just come on,
God, I want to play this.
just
place.
hit it, just hit it, and you're just you find some of the worst possible spots. It's just it was awesome, man. I can't wait for you guys to see it. I think you're gonna love it. Next, let's go back to the top of the order. TC, I want to know, what is the best shot you hit in 2024?
I think it's the tee shot on number 5 at Royal Melbourne West, playing against Solly.
Oh God, that was so good.
That was
Really good.
the back pin and flushed one. I had a driver off the deck at the old course reverse that over the hell bunker and to like a front left pin that was gross. But this one still, like, I think about this shot a lot, and I think
We
about
actually
this
saw this
hole
one,
a lot.
PC. We were
and-
playing the group ahead of you. You did stuff the pinata here.
And then I made the putt
go
too.
in.
That one just, like the integrity of the strike down there with the firmness of the turf and all that. It gets me going.
Solly?
The shot I hit out of the back right bunker on the 12th hole at Augusta, staring down Rays Creek and like truly not even understanding how off the downslope I could get the ball to stop. I just did the Tony Finau rock the baby. I opened up the face as wide as I could. It made like the perfect bunker sound, and it rolled out to like 2.5 feet, and the putt like was almost outside the hole left to right, and made the putt. Got up and down from the back right bunker to the Sunday pin 12 at Augusta. That was the only place my mind went on that one.
It got to be heady territory to sit in that back bunker, just be like, God, dude, I could make this. Probably the only time I'm going to play this hole. I could make a 12 here.
I was like, what do I do? Like, if I hit it in the water, what do I do? Do I drop again in the bunker?
Did I
Like,
hit it over the water?
You're already thinking about that. Like, what?
this is the only place the ball could go. Like, I truly didn't think I could stop it on the green. And yeah, you're supposed to keep it moving. Like, there was a huge log jam at that part of the course because everyone's taking pictures and all that. And I was like, man, I can't go back to the other side of the creek. Like, that's not an option. So yeah, there was a lot riding on that one.
Neil, what about you?
Well, honorable mention would be the Eagle chip in on 17 at Peninsula Kingswood. Just
Yeah.
That was epic.
maybe like the first time in my life I've executed like the 2-hop stop, and then it just turned right and went in. I was like, fuck yeah, dude. I just got that tee grind wedge. I was like, that was the shot. I think about that shot all the time. But that's not the winner. I hit an absolute seed into 16 at Cypress, and I think Cody might have the footage because I know he was filming it. So I'm just gonna show it to you guys.
Yeah, buddy.
Wind was pumping off the right to left, and I held up it was like 225-ish, held it up into the wind, and 15 feet, burned the edge, didn't make birdie, but it put a good stroke on the putt, and it was just, and listen, I mean, that's such a culmination, you're just waiting for that hole all day long, like just dreaming about playing this course my whole life, and I hit the shot, Butch. I hit the shot. I hit it. It was sick. It was everything I thought it would be. It was awesome, man. Awesome.
God, there's nothing better because again, I'm being pessimistic.
It's like spooky day, clouds, windy. It kind of had like it wasn't bad weather, but it was just it was moody, and it was awesome when we rolled up on the ocean there. So I'm really happy I executed that shot.
The opposite of that scenario is no fun, right? Like that's the classic TPC sawgrass.
Yep.
Like all anybody's gonna ask you is like, did you hit it on 17? It's like, no, I hit like a weird shank like over the middle.
Yeah, no, I kind of scolded into the railroad ties. It was bad.
Congratulations. That's a memory to keep forever. Mine was I wouldn't say it was like the best technical shot that I've ever hit, but it's probably the most fun shot. It was my favorite shot of the year. Was on the 14th hole, I believe it was, at Ocean Dunes. Little baby par 3.
Yes.
That was just like, gale.
Death bunker
Just blowing like 30 right into our face, and we're all trying to figure out how to just make the ball go like.
Tito's got the camera like on stilts. He like jacked up the tripod to get like the above like a high shot of it.
Just
trying to far downhill.
Trying to figure out how to just make the ball go like 78 yards, right? And like just tumble over that front bunker and roll out and hit that shot with a pitching wedge and flighted one down, which I hadn't done in quite a while, and held it up against the wind perfectly and had like a 15-20 footer and made it. So that was very, very, very fun. That was, I think, my favorite hole of the year.
And then we sat there and watched PC just execute Randy with extreme prejudice.
So anticlimactic ending for the big guy.
I still can't believe that place exists.
For real.
So cool.
We're gonna maybe get to that in another one of my prompts here.
Deej, one other one I wanted to just shout out for myself.
Please,
was
TC.
one of the like worst missed clubs I've ever made before on number
At
9
Aaron Hills.
at Aaron Hills. It's like 30 yards over the green, and then somehow got up and down from
All the-
there. That was just my caddy was like, "Yeah, good luck, man. We're making 6 here."
All the caddies are just exclaiming they've never seen someone that far over the green. That was good stuff. Oh, that kind of
Flashed so
that
hard.
kind of speaks to the next one here. I tried to make this clear. What was something you did on the golf course for the first time this year? TC, where did you take this one?
I won a club event. I won the member with
That's
our buddy
big.
Dan Horner at Tree Farm.
That's a big one.
This year.
I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah. Played really like got off to a really slow start, and then I think both of us I think I shot like 31 or 32 coming in on the back 9, and I think we won by 2 or 3. So played great coming in. Dan, it was the gross division.
Super
The rat
gross.
got hungry.
Yeah. Toss some
Uh,
cheese out.
Solly, what about you?
I played to the road hole green over the Swilken Bridge from the opposite direction. Like I played the old course in reverse. Like that was I hit to one of the coolest greens in the world from the opposite direction. That was the something I definitely have never done on a golf course this year, and likely will probably never get to do again.
That's good stuff. Neil?
I reverse Icarito'd. I stopped. I got out of the quicksand. Cody, this video of me making the putt on 18 to send it to extra innings at Kingston Heath. I never like this putt doesn't go in, for me normally. Early in rounds, sure. Like I could be a clutch putter, but I just couldn't believe I made this putt. I was like, oh my God, I made birdie on 18. And if you watch the 2 holes before it, it was like, God, you're gonna do it again, aren't you? You're gonna collapse. You fucking idiot. And
I was hoping your shot of the year was going to be your drive on 18 of that match. Like,
I thought about that. But that was almost like in the heat of the moment. I don't know. It was more the storybook of 16 at Cypress. It kind of needed to be called out. But just like kind of changed the script there at the end of Taurus Sauce. That felt really good.
I took it in a slightly different direction. I didn't have a ton of highlights this year, so something I did for the first time on the golf course this year, lose feeling in my hands at the old course. Straight up, we got to that last hole, and I could not feel my hands. I could barely grab onto the club, could barely like hit the club face anymore. It was just that was tough, man. That was really, really tough. And I feel like you couldn't properly illustrate how bad my tee shot was on 18 from the video. Right, because like the wind, we're over on like the second tee of the normal routing, playing to the 18th green of the normal routing, and so you're jammed way over the left, hammering like 30 degrees or 30 miles an hour, like left to right. So I'm trying to like start it left over like what would be the grandstands for the Open Championship, like start at the starter's hut, and I basically like heel kind of like I don't even know, like duck hooked one off the heel that like hit one of those posts and bounced back in, and I was like, all right, well, cool. At least we don't have to re-tee. That's good. So just brutal cold, but
We played in some bad weather this year.
Bad weather this year.
So much.
That's true. Maybe that's maybe I can't beat myself up too much about some of the scores this year. Let's take it in the opposite direction, TC. What is something you hope you did for the last time on the golf course this year?
I'm gonna go back to Aaron Hills. The way that I played the 15th hole, like doing what I thought was the smart thing, laying back off the tee and not forcing the issue off the tee. I think hit it like a 5-iron, something, or maybe even a hybrid. Didn't even get it to the fairway, and then just compounding errors on compounding errors from there. I think I made a quad first round, and then I go back out the next day, and it somehow got even worse. I tried to putt from the rough, didn't even get it to the green, and then it was it was just like an out of body experience both times I played that hole. And I think the previous times I played that hole, we played a 36-hole event, and I think I was like 1 under that day. Like I was looking forward to playing that hole, and I just completely gagged it. So I've never quite had like back-to-back rounds of an out-of-body experience on the same hole like that.
Aaron Hills is sweet.
That is sweet. So, where'd you take this one? Something you hope you did for the last time this year.
I hope I missed my last 15-inch tap-in putt in competition on the second hole of the Gasparilla this year. I walked up to just go tap it in. it missed, and I surrender Cobra right there. And I could have chosen like 4 other moments from this round, but that was something I hope I never do again.
Oh, man, that's tough.
Neil, don't miss any putts you should make.
That's right. That's
know?
exactly.
I didn't have that written down as a goal.
Words to
Just
live by.
any tap-ins you should make.
Just don't do that.
Where'd you go, Neil?
I hope it's the last time that I make a 9 on number 9.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be the last time I make a 9, but I just don't want that to happen on 9. I didn't like the symmetry there. It's just bad. Just
Ninth
bad.
green at 9.
I
God,
made a
that,
9 on
oh.
on the Long Island Mid Am on. I did put the 9 at 9 trick. Not good.
When that
Some of
ball
these
was rolling back
stills
to
are
your
just
feet,
so good.
I think they changed this rule actually, but I was afraid. I thought I saw you reaching for the divot. Like if you tap down the divot, that's a penalty on top of this. I was like, oh no.
No, I don't think I touched anything.
No, I don't think
Cody,
you did, but I
pop
thought you were
in
reaching
here.
to it.
What were you thinking during all of this?
It was going so fast, TC, and just looking at your brother, like I was trying to get as deep in his eyes as I could, and I could tell like it had kind of glazed over there.
No one's hope.
But I knew whatever I was gonna say. I think I said, "Hey, you want to change wedges or something like that?" And he's like, "No, I'm fine." I was like, "Okay, cool." Like, I was gonna go stand on the other side.
You know, got the biker gang coming up on us, just trying to get out of there alive.
Playing
But yeah,
slow as
not
shit.
We
wanna
were
get
not
rid
playing
of-
slow.
Yeah, but we weren't playing slow. Just want to get rid of these. No, I actually played really fast on this hole. I think that was part of the issue.
I mean, we started off so strong too, as from the time that we teed the ball up on the tee, because anything after that, as soon as this club made contact with anything, we were all over that golf course from like 60
amount of
yards
slope.
right. It was nuts.
That's a heavy slope there.
That is.
That was a tough.
Heavy
It was a
slope.
tough green. Yeah, I mean the mistake was made on the the putt over the green. That's where we lost this one. But anyway, Deej, what do you got?
I speak for everyone to say more you playing tournament golf on camera.
For
is,
Oh, we're coming
is-
back for sure.
It's awesome.
We're not scared. This was good experience. It was the only I made a lot of doubles in competition over 4 tournaments, but this was the only time I made worse than double. I'm proud of that, and I made it count. I made it a 9 instead of like a triple.
Man, I hope for the last time I'm dodging poisonous snakes. I'm good on that. That fucking sucked, man. That sucked. It was in the back of my head all day. Like the whole thing was just.
They weren't bad at Ocean Dunes. They were bad at Cape Wickham.
Or at Cape Wickham. You're right. You're
Yeah.
right. Just that whole kind of experience. Like I would love to pretend like I was like, it doesn't bother me. I was thinking about it every single time I missed the fairway, constantly, constantly, just like on edge the whole day. So I think I'm good on that. If another Cape
God,
Wickham
we had
trip
such a
comes
good
up,
bit rolling where I was acting like Steve Irwin, and you were like, "Yo, what if he bites you?" And like, no. Yeah, Neil was doing this thing where he's acting like Steve Irwin. The snake bit him, so yeah, he's like they had to airlift him back to Melbourne. It was bad, man.
it's like the Royal Navy fighters or whoever the Royal Navy doctors. Yeah, they had to take care of him.
No,
So
it
we're
was
trying-
funny, but it wasn't though. It's not funny. Like he's in serious condition.
Yeah, we're trying to call Carson. Like we don't know if she's gonna like fly over, or if he's gonna be. We don't know if he's not gonna be able to fly for months. So
You
it's
got on
like,
video?
yeah. We do got. I'll show you. It's
It
not
is on
funny.
video. Yeah, we'll put it in the nest behind the scenes content.
He was doing the gritty in front of the snake.
He died doing what he loved.
What his pants are so short that the thing just swung.
Yeah, he got right up his leg. He had the
Crawled
hot
right up
waters
his
on.
pants.
Like, it's bad. No, it's not funny. It's not funny. It was really bad.
Oh God, I feel like that kind of leads into this next one.
They were terrifying. I mean, someone on the first hole, and
Oh.
it's just the rest of the day. I was like, drive it in the fairway.
I feel like that kind of leads into the next one here, TC. What was your lowest point on the golf course in 2024?
Oh, a lot of different ways we could go here. No, it was more just like an entire round. The round at Colorado Golf Club for our summer festival this year. I hate playing really, really bad golf on great golf courses. We had been at the BMW Championship at Castle Pines all week. Neil and I played the Pro-Am with Roger. Roger just beat the shit out of us again. And just kind of one of those things of like, I was just out of gas. And so this is, I think, the second hole out there. I had to start on this hole. And it's like it's this par 3 that's the green's like the size of my car. And just not a comfortable shot to start with that day. And, I put one in the front bunker and then it kind of devolved from there. And there's just so many great. It's like the private version of Bandon Trails. There's so many great short par fours out there, and I just could not execute anything all day, and it was just demoralizing.
We all
I think I
struggled out
shot-
there. Awesome.
I think I shot 86 or 87. Like it was bleak. So
Delightful course, but yeah, it is, you get beat up a little bit.
That's tough. I know that feeling extremely well, TC. Solid lowest point on the golf course.
You get down in a match, you get behind, and you're kind of like, all right, on 9 I could turn it around. Like on 10 I could turn it around. Like, all right, at some point I cannot play the whole day and have it go this poorly.
that's how I felt at Troon Solly.
I think it was I forget what hole it was at the new course at St. Andrews. Ben just like whooping my ass. Me realizing that I was like, oh, last time I was hurt. No, this time I'm healthy. I'm gonna beat you. This is one of my favorite courses. You don't know links golf. I'm gonna beat you this time. Like losing my ball.
That was so sick.
It got buried in the rough, and I could barely see it. And then I hit the ball directly into the ground and could not find the ball. That was the lowest point of the year for me, because it was just a day I felt off. Just was not myself. I refused to. I can't even watch the video back. It's just like the most cringe day of the year for me. And Ben just solidified. Just drove a stake through my own heart. But Ben came over my dead body. Ben came and twisted it a little bit.
Had that biker gang coming up behind us. They're twisting the knife.
Very stressed the whole time. I was not.
Played in like 3 hours.
Yeah.
No, we did not. And
Yes, we did.
No,
we played in like
it was
320.
It was a tough scene there for a little while.
Neil, cannot wait to hear where you're going.
Well,
with this.
I forgot to send Cody a graphic on this. I had an honorable mention. It was the first tee at New South Wales when I hit it like 45 yards over the green, pulled the wrong club.
I think
And
that was
like,
the highlight
"Damn,
of the year."
dude, are you this first shot of the year? I hadn't picked up a stick, and I just hit an absolute seed, like maybe the best contact of my life, and I blew it over you guys on the tee. It's like, damn,
God, I
are we
forgot
doing
about
this?
that.
And then I went on to shoot the highest round of the year, 86.
Did you have 5-iron next? And you had 2-iron?
Yeah,
no.
no. And then I fucking made a par.
Yeah.
It got up and down or the mega four.
God.
So anyway, that's honorable mention. That was sick. You can see that in episode, I think the first episode or second episode of Tourist Sauce. I roll up to the second day of the club championship with this dope ass animal shirt on. Get out of the car. I'm vibing. I battled my ass off the day before.
I feel like
And
the crowd's kind of with you too, right?
Yeah, dude. I'm like, oh man, I almost tracked solid down. I'm like, I'm right there. And then I go out and just like hit the trap door on like by the third tee. I'm just like vaporized off the leaderboard, like just
like
awful.
double or something.
Yeah, dude, just fucking ejected immediately. Like just not good stuff, bad attitude, the whole deal. And that was like, fuck, man. Like, what are you doing?
Look at your knee there.
Yeah, I just got in so many bad spots in those first 3 or 4 holes. And then like, I had fun on the back, but I was being, hangdog bitchy Neil for a little while there. I hate
All
that.
been there.
Oh my God, that's good stuff.
Like, God, you can't roll up with that animal shirt on and then hit the trap door.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
That's the same scene of the place where JT said you can't roll up here in pig pants and not go low.
That's true.
Yeah, exactly. I did that, and that's not good.
Mine was not on camera. It was we have a golf trip that we take every year, me and Randy and our guy Nick Kelly and Big T. And Nick and I are
What's
always
it called?
on
The Hitters and Thinkers?
It's called the Hitters and Thinkers Invitational. And Nick and I are on a team. We talk about it all year. We've got it like the first year had this unbelievable finish where we don't have to bore you with all the details, but Tim like blacked out on the last hole, just like was so nervous that he blew, like all he had to do was like 3-putt to win, and he hit like his second putt like 8 feet past the hole, and we're just like, dude, this is like just not gonna be a good start to the tournament if we make him putt this. And so we had a great concession. So like second year is gonna be the year. This is like really gonna be important, and I just laid the biggest egg of my life. Just worst golf I played all year. We went to the Haymaker, which is across the street from Steamboat Jay's beloved Catamount, and shot like 88. just no chance. Randy's just peacocking all over the place, beating the shit out of everybody. It was like
Got his
Randy looked like he was,
stripes on his sock.
yeah, Randy's got
He's got
tennis
his
socks
Australian
on.
Open socks
Yeah.
on. That's when you know he means business.
Randy like legitimately looked like he was gonna break par, and I shot like 88. It was awful, awful, awful golf by me. So that was the low point for me. But a couple more here. TC, we talked a couple weeks ago on the pod about your favorite playing partner of the year. I'm just curious, anyone else you want to shout out? Anyone else that needs to go on the be read into the record?
God, Neil, I would say our host at Cyprus was up there.
For sure.
Just what an enjoyable walk with him. I got to play with John Minium. I hosted him at
Year in review.
Bonavidra. Yeah,
All right,
that was like
that,
towards the beginning of the year.
People that don't know what this is, you gotta.
Well,
Yeah,
the year
so-
in review should be coming out soon, so
Yeah,
we'll have a segment on it. In
What
January.
is that? That's what he's asking for.
yeah, Neil.
It's this
explain it.
guy does it. So I love. He just sent it to us years ago. Sent it to the Kill House. Every year he makes a pamphlet,
Very
basically of
unsolicited.
what we're doing. It's a physical like pamphlet printed at a print shop of like his year of golf, and he keeps all of his stats, all the courses he
It's
plays.
awesome.
It's awesome. Like we've put an Instagram out about it. Like it's the best. And so he just like it's just this random dude, and I'm like I'm fascinated by. I can't wait for it to arrive. So TC, yeah, he came to Jack's and played with you.
Yeah, he's down here once in a while. So I played with him. He was a gentleman, and he's so nice with the putter. Just he plays this old putter, just so nice with the putter. So we had a great day out there. Hope to do it again soon. And then just the entire trip, I know like my favorite playing partner I had all year was from some of the guys I played with in Scotland. A few more. There's this guy, Johnny King, we played a few rounds with. He's like the 10-time club champion at Prestwick. He plays T350 irons. he's like late 30s, early 40s. And he's just like, no, like I want the ball to go really high.
Rocket shift.
Yeah. And I just, I don't want to worry about my irons. I just want to drive it in the fairway, hit it on the green, and make putts. I'm like, man, what a low energy kind of or like efficiency. It's fascinating. And then that same trip we played with a guy who is a ER doctor in Glasgow. So I just talked to him about stabbings the whole time.
A lot of big knife culture over there. Sure.
Yeah.
Did he hear about my
So-
stabbing at the new course? Because could use his help.
This guy wearing a U.S. Open sweater just got U.S. Open.
No,
just
and then
got
I mean,
stabbed
just
over
like
at the Duke
every
court.
round that trip, like the guys at Dunbar, the guys at the Glen, it was awesome. So
Good stuff. Solly?
I thought about this one. I go back to Adelaide again, playing with Louis, who was just like
So great.
a sick golfer. Listen, I don't mind saying it. It was a handsome fella. He makes wine. He's a singer songwriter.
Bit of muso.
Yeah, the muso. It's just like, I always love that when we just kind of make this realization and say like, hey, that's just a person I would have never met in my life. It wasn't for this dumbass sport. And we live 10,000 miles away from each other probably, and got to spend an awesome afternoon at Royal Melbourne. And it was Royal Adelaide, excuse me. And I just freaking love like a good, strong, competitive match. And we had just an awesome day doing that. So
I still follow him on Instagram. Always getting updates
yeah.
about his bone broth company and everything. It's great.
Hell yeah.
all right. So he was going to place like somewhere in the interior of Australia. Oh, like maybe 3 or 4 months ago. And I can't remember. I'm not sure where it was.
Oh, I
He'd
saw
never.
that too.
You
Yeah.
see that?
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, dude, where are you? He wouldn't tell me.
Yeah.
Going to like the caverns in the outback to do
Yeah.
I think he's on the
Oh.
mental health ice polar plunge kick, which
Love
it seems like would be right up his alley.
Yeah,
Enlightened cat.
Neil, who'd you want to shout out?
Well, my nomination here is Mike and Chad, the adaptive golfers that Cody and I played with at Southampton. Here's Chad just showing us like all the flexibility he gets with the prosthetic leg, which was sick. But just watching these guys hit the golf ball. We did a video with them at Southampton. Another one of those courses the second time I played, I just love that place. Like that's another highlight of golf round of the year. But just watching the way these guys generate power and like it beat the shit out of Cody and I. I mean, we were on different teams, but those guys are just like really, really good golfers. Now, Cody, I had another one. I was saving it for pick of the year, but in case we don't do that, I'm going to throw it in here. My guy, Harold, and his caddy at the Pub Links. Harold, this guy beat the shit out of me over 36 holes. 66 years old. Lives in
Solly,
the
that looks like
Bronx.
what are your old outfits?
Shot. I think he shot 69 or
That's-
70 in the first round.
I
And
had
his
a white belt.
caddy, his buddy that they play a bunch with, he looped for him 36 holes in loafers. And this just kind of summed up like the pick. Like, this is my competition next year. I got to go out and get Harrell, you know. But it also gives me hope that, like, yo, this guy's running laps around me. Like, my best golf's got to be ahead of me,
That's
you know.
good
But
stuff.
had the sun sleeves, the bucket, outrageous
Yeah.
swag from Harrell.
God, that's great. I gotta meet that
Is that
guy.
a button down?
Kinda
Yeah,
looks
yeah.
like
It was like a full on
Furyk button down?
like, yeah, I think so. It was sick
Hell
outfit.
yeah.
Yeah, it was like really hot. He's wearing pants. It was all everything about it was sick.
His caddy's wearing pants. Respects the game.
Yeah. I
Love
just
it.
couldn't believe he showed up in loafers. It's like a hard walk out. I was like, what are you doing, man?
I had an easy one. I just want to shout out the Wisconsin Supper Club Roost. Got to meet up with those guys a couple times this year and play. This was at the Bourbon, which is the kind of season kickoff event. It's like 39 degrees, just miserable weather, and everybody's just that. It's like no place on earth anyone would rather be. It's just a bunch of truly great people that are so fun to play golf with. So
It's the Bourbon, Burban.
Burban. It's at Spring Valley. It's named after the horse that died. That the owner's horse died, and he buried him behind. I believe it's like is it the 12th hole, 13th hole, something like that. So there's a big gravestone out there dedicated to Bourbon the horse. And so the Supper Club guys all leave a bunch of bottles of bourbon out there for the event. It's great group of people. So all right, this is the big one. This is the fun one here, TC. Favorite day of golf on the course in 2024.
I don't know. Yeah, this one again, a lot of different directions. I chose the day with Poosh out on trails.
On
June-
trails. I chose the day on Pacific Dunes, the first day when we first got
That
there.
was a vibey day.
Poosh was
Yeah.
yeah, sorry to cut you off. I thought we were going the same direction.
No, but Poosh and I just walking around with a couple bottles of sake, the Tears of the Dawn, the June
Junmai
Daikinjo.
Daikinjo. Yeah.
And we're just ripping sake the entire. It's like one of my favorite walks in the world. With Poosh, we're teaming up, and I think you guys beat us. The weather's not great. Squid and Swickle on the bag. It's just like what a day, and just ripping good sake. We went to the liquor store in Bandon before, and scooped all this sake. It was so fun. I love playing golf with Poosh. He's just infectious energy.
I'll jump in there because I was in the same boat. I picked the first day at Pacific Dunes when Poosh was playing on camera. If you haven't watched that video, I strongly encourage everybody to go check it out. He made like what did he make, an 8 on the first hole or something? The par 4, 7. And then he comes back and just makes a birdie, and he makes another 8, makes another birdie. He's pouring in putts from everywhere. It was just like electric day. God, I laughed so much.
Having
that day.
Zach there too, Zach Lee, like he's, I text with Zach like almost every day these days. He's a big Bears fan. He was one that shot those videos, and he's just been despondent about Coach Flus for the last month or two.
That was good stuff. Solly, where'd you take it?
My mind immediately went to the evening at Royal Melbourne West, Torres Sauce. The match against TC, just like it was the megalite. We had the golf course essentially to ourselves. It elevated Royal Melbourne to the old course in Terra Eady tier for me of just like there's not a better golf course in the world. It's just some of the most pure. I just gained so much more appreciation for it. I got to go to the Asia Pacific Amateur like 4 months prior to this and got to really soak up the golf course, and then to go get to play it in a really competitive match in that light. I was just like peak golf for me. That was a 10 out of 10 day, and I'll remember that one forever.
God,
So I don't think I've ever been so like grateful and thankful and just genuinely happy after losing.
That's what it's like. I didn't even care that I won on 18. I was like, dude, we made it to 18. Like, we're tied. It's been an incredible, like, it was in so many high moments. Like, whatever. This is what I was hunting for, like this kind of competition. If I win or lose, it doesn't really matter at this point. I just kind of wanted to experience that. It was just awesome. Like that's a pick of 17 green, of just one of the coolest green sites in the world. And it's just like there's 5 other holes that are probably you could nominate on that golf course alone.
And I would say truly among the best light, if not the best light we've ever had. Like on
And
the golf
perfect
course.
weather, just great. You guys had an awesome crew. You were playing with some
Yeah.
of the in the group ahead. We were playing with some of the best ladies at the club, the top 2 ladies at the club. They were just an awesome people to hang out with. I still remember the feeling of that day.
All right,
I
Neil,
had
break.
that one on my short list. And the King Island day before we had that big
It
group
was so
dinner.
fun. Yeah.
But I actually went with the Roost Club Championship. The Sunday of it. The first year that the Team NLU we didn't make the finals, but I almost had more fun just floating around, like, refereeing, kind of just getting the groups off, like, and just like good old fashioned low stakes competition, man. Like hanging and having sweetens to yourself for like 2 days. It's just like the best vibe out there when the sun's going down and like just golf from dawn to dusk. I really never get sick of going to Sweetens Cove, and I get there less than I used to, and so when I am there, I just like really cherish that place. So it's like that. We had an awesome final day at the Roost Club Championship.
Well said.
It'll have been 5 years since I've been back to Sweetens if I don't go to the club championship this year. So I would.
We
I
got
would
to
like
get you there, man.
I
It's
should
just
put
like
that as a goal. I know.
that place always hits. I just never
Yeah.
get sick. It's 9 holes. I never get sick of it. Like it's just
Should-
it's so much fucking fun.
Yeah.
It should be better than ever this year too. With all the new
They just
grass and, like, it'll be
regrassed
dialed.
everything, and it's really special place for me.
All right, we're gonna bring this section of the pod and our year look back to a close with one more prompt here, guys. We kind of did this on one of our house meeting videos. We're just gonna call this "Will they go lower?" Will they go lower in 2025? We're gonna look at everybody's low score in 2024, and I want to know if you think they're going lower in 2025. Of course, golf courses play into this, par plays into this, all kinds of things. But for the sake of the game, let's just call it what it is. Are they gonna have a lower score in 2025? Or not? We will start with Ben, whose low score was 70 in 2024. Is Ben going lower in 2025?
Yes.
1000%.
That's
I
an
think that's
easy
going to
one.
be a unanimous, easy one. Yes.
And if Ben doesn't, then we're gonna start having like it's gonna
Intervention.
start becoming a thing.
That's right. Casey's low was 84 in 2025. Is Casey going lower than 84? Get your 84
Yes.
jerseys out.
Yes.
I think so. Yeah.
I think Casey breaks 80 this year.
Whew.
Or in
She
25.
keeps posting these 37s. Like it's gonna
Yeah.
have. She's gonna bring it all together at some point.
I'm with you. I'll say yes. Chris Sollenberger, 65.
Nah,
I was
sorry,
looking at this.
dog.
I was like, man, is everybody just gonna say yes for everyone?
That's
They're like,
heady
Solly's
territory.
not going lower than 65. Sorry.
I might do like a white tee, something kind of super easy just to make people look silly. I don't possibly see how I would go lower than 65 with the triple dad back I'm about to have.
Cody's low was 73 this year. Cody, where was this? Was this at Dobson?
That was the Dobson, yeah. Prior to that, I think the low round of the year was like 76. The last house meeting we had, you guys were giving me a hard time about that, but
we all
got it in at
you were gonna
73.
go lower.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say yes.
I'll say
just
yes,
because
yeah.
I think
I would say yes.
Cody's
Yeah, 'cause you've
got
been
his
there
TPI
before.
stuff, and he's got
He's stacking.
yeah, exactly.
All right,
He's
next
got
up.
play more too, Cody.
Next up is yours truly. I shot 73 at Blue Mound Golf Club here in Milwaukee. You can let me have it here if you want.
I'll
I'm gonna
say yes.
yes.
All right.
Gage, I'm gonna
go.
say no. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I get it.
Guys,
I
the
gotta
stuff
see
that I
some
saw from Deej
progress.
on the range at Ohoopee,
Dropping mail.
I can't unsee it. It's got me getting back into my bag a little bit, trying to beef up the rat.
God, I appreciate that, TC. TC's getting all kinds of new scraps. He's trying to take all kinds of shit back to the nest.
The rat's taking creatine. I'm not, but
You should. Very good for you.
KVV 78. Is KVV going lower than 78? He's also stacking. He's got the
I want to
stack
say
up.
yes, but I don't think so.
He's gonna get bitchy if we don't.
No, I sorry, man. I don't think so though.
Where did he shoot 78?
It was
Elk
at-
Ridge. I think I saw it. up
Yeah,
there.
it was something
The Rainer.
Elk Ridge.
Yeah.
Elk Ridge. I always want to say Oak Ridge. Out there with the Oak Ridge boys.
But I think he'll raise his floor though.
Yeah,
I don't know if we're getting lower than 78, but I think he's going to play better definitely in 2025. That's what I'll say.
Purely for bulletin board material, I'm going to join you and say no
Yeah,
because
I'm
I
gonna say
think
no in
I think
2025.
it is really fun since we did that house meeting. every time I was like, I make the turn, I shoot like even or one over on the front. I'm like, fuck you guys, man. I'm gonna go do this. I'm gonna go shoot 72, and then you just get in your own head. But Neil is up next. 72. I'm gonna say
non-strap rounds.
I'm gonna say yes.
I'll
Neil
say
goes lower
yes.
than 72.
I think it's time to bust the room.
It's time to break through the wall next year. Let's
Take
go.
the diaper off, Neil. All
I
right.
know, seriously. Par
Grand-
5 scoring, TC. Par
There you go.
5 scoring.
Yeah.
Big Randy, 72.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely
I'm gonna
not.
say no.
Yes. Yes.
Go to your other
It's like
record with a yes.
we might be going back to a familiar place. You never know where he has a lot of positive vibes at. And he's an enlightened cat man now. He's got a cat in his life. He's a married man. You don't know how centered he's going to be and be able to ride all these good vibes.
I really appreciated his honesty when I was asked. I was not at the NIT because we had just had a kid, but I was asking him about like what were you feeling on the 18th tee, because he bogeyed the last to shoot even. He's like, honestly, I was standing on the tee. I was like, this is my only chance I'm ever gonna have to break par. Which I
I
really
also shot
appreciated his
72
honesty.
at Dobson the same day, and I bogeyed the last hole as well.
Really par 5,
Yes.
right? Or I guess it was a
No,
shotgun.
it was a shotgun.
Yeah.
It was a par 3 for me, and I got tense. I juiced one long left, honestly. When
I
in the
will
heat of the
say
moment.
with Randy, I think he's down at a 5.9 now, which is I think
Yeah.
probably his lowest ever. I think that's like his natural place. I think he's a much better golfer than he was 2, 3, 4 years ago. And he just needs to believe that he's a better golfer than he was 2, 3, 4 years ago.
I agree with that.
Yep.
Last but not least, TC's low was 69 this year at Sea Island. TC, are you going? What do you think for yourself? You going lower than 69?
I will go lower than 69.
I don't think so, TC. I think you might shoot 69 again. I don't think you're shooting lower than that. And
68's
yeah,
yeah.
same with like no gimmicky courses.
That's fine.
I
I mean,
think
par
TC
70s aren't gimmicky, right?
I think TC has one blackout round
because
of the year. It
the
shoots like
69 was a
67 or
70.
68.
It was a par
Okay.
70. Really easy setup.
I'm gonna
Pretty
say
short.
I'm gonna say yes. I think you shoot 68.
I'd say no.
Tough
Sorry.
one.
It is
It's
it's a tough
great
line.
over under.
Yeah.
It's a great line. I'm gonna say no because I think 69 is very different than 68.
All right.
I didn't mean it that way. Don't do it.
There you have it. The haters have identified themselves. The records are on, or the takes are on the record, and good luck to everybody for breaking their low scores next year. Saul, I know you got to bounce. Thank you for popping in. Best of luck with the trio of
Highlight of my
little
week,
ones you
guys.
got over there.
Thank you so
Good
much.
to see you,
You wanna go
brother.
another hour?
Thank you
Yeah.
so much. Yeah, I would love to, but it's calling my name. Appreciate it, guys.
TC, we don't have a leaderboard to go down this week, so I
Yeah.
wanted to give you some space to go down the notebook a little bit. I know you got some stuff percolating. You got some,
Yeah.
notes written down. The floor is yours.
Yeah, I got like 5 or 6 items, just quick hitters. Our guy Blades Brown, 17-year-old, turned pro. He was on the Walker Cup kind of practice squad, and I'd been hearing some rumblings that he'd been turning down. Like, I think the NIL offers weren't high enough, so he's going pro, making his pro debut at the Amex, and he'll rely on sponsors exemptions this year. So,
How are you feeling about this?
to be honest, I haven't really watched him play too much, but it sounds like out of the guys that in this class, he's got a lot of upside and plenty of power and all that. So TBD. It's kind of a I'm not close enough to the situation to know.
Yeah.
I mean, Akshay's kind of laid the blueprint a little bit, and it almost feels easier now. You got to take your chance when you can get it, and I think I don't know. I'm kind of hyped for him.
On the flip side, though, like, isn't it easier to just go to college at this point and you can still make
that's
500 grand to $1 million a year? And
right. I know that's it's gonna be interesting, right? Is the easy answer. I think it always makes someone so much more magnetic when they have this one kind of as their backstory, their origin story, right? That's why Sean O'Hare was so much more interesting than a bunch of other guys that looked just like Sean O'Hare.
Yeah.
So,
but there's also a Ty Tryon for.
I was going to say there's a lot of other
It's definitely a
blueprints,
statement.
buildings that collapsed, but
Yeah.
we'll
But
see. It is a different era
rooting for him.
for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
same.
PGA of America, finally finally hired a CEO to replace Seth Waugh. 6 months later, Derek Sprague, he's the GM at TPC Sawgrass down the street from me, former PGA of America president, ran Neil's Spot Liberty National for 7-8 years, including when they hosted the President's Cup there.
But before they hired the Magic guy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was
I don't
before
think
that
that
time.
I don't think that was on his watch. Don't want to
Okay.
give him credit for that.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. He's got kind of a, hey, maybe he'll be a PGA Tour employee before it's all said and done. If they sell the Ryder Cup and or PGA Championship or whatever, he's got to deal with the pay for play debacle. Reached out to some people over at TPC Sawgrass. They said, nice guy, kind of a robot, not really what I would call a leader of people, is what a couple of my sources said. So we'll see how that works. But they got a PGA pro in there, which sounded pretty important to them. And Roger Warren, the guy from Kiowa, who was, sounded like they had decided on him, and then at the last minute they kind of, I'm not sure what happened. He was the odds-on favorite from by all accounts and all the reporting and everything. And then there was another guy, I guess some bad stuff came back from his club. So he did not get the call. And then Live Corner, guys. Live is set to agree to a new broadcast deal with Fox.
This is kind of a big deal.
Yeah. It seems, we can certainly
maybe I don't know. Maybe
here
nothing.
comes Fox back into golf. They fire sale the USGA stuff, and then now
it's probably free this time though.
Yeah, true.
They don't have to pay for production, right? Like Liv's just gonna do all the production for him as well, and it just is kind of a I don't know. I don't know what else we could say that we haven't said already, but Godspeed.
They should bring in Holly Saunders. And then, guys, the big news of the week, the Cleeks. We got
this new acquisition,
new addition.
Oh man,
yeah, Frederick Ketchup, whatever. FSU, talking about the Knowles. He's coming in. Blandy, really, really nice message from Blandy, Keimer, Adrian, whole squad's behind him. He, of course, replaces Kaye Samoya. And
he's a rookie deal, TC, 6 years of control before free agency.
I would think so. Yeah. So, looking forward to that. Other PGA Tour news, Nick Dunlap named Rookie of the Year. I don't think any big surprises there. Won twice. Which, who knows if his amateur win actually counts towards being Rookie of the Year. The tour would probably say no. Ron Price, Neil, your guy, Ron Price, retiring.
Ron, he is my guy. He's the only freaking guy with his hand on the steering wheel for the last 5 years, and then he got left out to dry to do the Senate hearing by Jay. That's tough.
Your guy.
I thought he handled it pretty well.
He also got paid $13 million.
Well, yeah, of course he's retiring after that. He's probably like, "Get me the fuck out of here, man! Like, I'll take my package and I'm gonna go hang out."
He was the CFO, I believe, right?
Yes, I think he was a COO, right?
No, he was a CFO. At least he was when we.
And then I think when the deck chairs started shifting around, I think he became COO, maybe.
Okay,
something like that.
I think he knew where all the bodies were buried. Knew where Fincham laid all the little traps and stuff. So, Gary Williams back on Golf Channel. I wanted to shout out Gary. I think that's cool. He's been very open, honest, reflective about kind of his struggles with, addiction in the past. And I've really come to like and respect Gary over the last 4 or 5 years and really getting to know him. So that was great news to hear. And then lastly, Jack Davis, friend of the program, head pro up at Essex County Club, named the director of golf Ed Marion in Philly. So richly deserved there. He and Amanda, actually his wife, she runs the shop up there, and it's one of the best pro shops you'll ever walk into as far as the merchandising in there. So
there you have it. Mahalo, TC. Thank you for running down the notebook. Couple little loose ends to tie off. On the housekeeping front, we had TC's TPI video that got published to YouTube this week. Strongly encourage everybody to go watch that one.
Strongly encourage people to watch that one. It enlightening stuff.
How's the
I
feedback been?
put myself out there. It's been great. I got so many people reaching out. Like Sturm was like, dude, I need those exercises, man. You got to send me those exercises.
A lot of tight hips out there. A lot of
Yeah.
tight hips out there.
Yeah. It's a pretty common affliction, it seems.
Over on the NLU podcast YouTube channel, TC and Wolfie are chopping it up for an office hours about the best golf countries in the world. I really enjoyed this one. This was a delight.
That was my favorite one we've done. The Canadians aren't happy. I
That's
would
all right.
say you're the second largest country by landmass in the world, and you're not punching above your weight. So we're gonna put you down in the rankings there.
On the trap draw this week, Randy and I hopped on for a Seamsters Union interview. We were going to go like 20 minutes and ended up going an hour. Just a lot to talk about with the hot stove, and then a great email or a great interview that Randy did with the author of the Pete Rose book, Charlie Hustle, as well on the back end of that one.
I watched the Charlie Hustle doc on a flight
It's good stuff.
last week. It was good. What a nut job.
Complicated character, to say the least. TCU and Randy got a year-end chopped sesh that is getting early rave
TC
reviews.
said, "quote our best chop session of all time."
Yeah,
last week.
I'll let the people be the judge. All right.
And the
You're
Goals
setting the
podcast, baby,
expectations.
coming to you live January 1st. People get ready.
it's in the
Not
can.
live.
Stuff.
Not live. It's in
Not
the
live.
can.
It's in the can.
Neil, what else you got?
So I got two fun ones. We don't have a one for the road segment, but I kind of have one for you. So I got an email three nights ago. Subject line: "How's your name?" ? Neil, hello. Hope all is well. It's from a woman listener. We'll call her listener Casey. Longtime female listener, first time emailer. We are considering naming our son due in April 25. Neil, I was wondering what your thoughts are on the name. Any downsides or upsides we should be aware of as parents?
Nasty
That
Neil.
was like, what a fucking delightful email to get. I said, what a lovely email to receive, and congrats. And then it made me think about it. I never really thought, do I like my name? I said,
That's a
weirdly,
great question.
I love my name. It means champion in Gaelic. It's easy to say, one syllable, but not trendy, meaning I meet enough Neils that it isn't weird, but I was also the only Neil in grade school and in high school.
Yeah.
If
And
you do
multiple
name your son,
spelling.
I said, if you do name
N-E-I-L
your
or
son
N-E-A-L?
Neil, please just don't spell it with an A. I Neils don't like A Neils. We can't trust those guys. Thanks for your support, Neil. So I wanted to ask you guys, the three of you here, do you like your name?
It's a complicated question, Neil.
I know it is.
Because everybody
It made me
here
think.
knows
Though. I
I
reflected on that. I sat there
Tron
on the couch.
Carter.
Yeah. Well, let's go
kinda
with Stephen Todd Schuster.
The second.
Stephen Todd Schuster 2.0. I like Todd. Very similar, Neil. It's like you don't meet a lot of Todds.
Sure.
It's rare enough where you're kind of the only one in a certain setting, but it's not so rare that the only issue is sometimes when I go to the coffee shop or other places, you spell it with one D.
Ooh.
Can't have that.
Oh,
Cannot have that.
TC, somebody called me OJ the other day. They wrote on my when I was at the coffee shop. Like, got a
That's a
cortado-
bad thing.
Got a cortado for OJ.
Was that at Stone Creek?
It was. I don't mean to
That's-
blow him up, but it
that's
honestly
great.
made my day more than it did.
You should start going by
distract
OJ.
my day.
All right, Cody, what do you think? You like your name?
I love it. Love it. Everything about it. Named after Wild Bill, Buffalo Bill Cody, who is a famous Western character up in Wyoming, southern Montana. I'm proud of it, man.
Hell yeah.
That's
Dennis?
good
What's
stuff.
your middle name, Cody?
Thomas.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll say yes on both fronts. I got a complicated one. I got two names as well. TC, I got Dennis and DJ. But on the Dennis front, I originally, like, my parents were like, "Oh, we're gonna go with DJ," and then of course, as soon as I was old enough to be like, "Oh, I think I need to find a little autonomy," like kindergarten, I was like, "No, I think I'm gonna go Dennis." And for like a week, there were like three kids who were like, "Oh, Dennis the Menace." I was like, "Nope, out on this. We're not doing this anymore." So then switched back to DJ and never looked back. And DJ's great. It's unique. You always can pick it out of a list very easily.
Sure.
When you're showing up and looking for a name tag or something, it always stands out. And the Dennis is it's very rare. I feel like you don't meet not a lot of Dennises walking around out there anymore. But
Not.
so yeah, I'm
DJ
gonna say two thumbs up.
Well,
one qualm I have with DJ is in both my phone and I think on Instagram, it's D.J.
Throws me off.
instead
TC.
of just you know,
Mm.
I just type in DJ and
Can't
it
we just do
doesn't
the
pull
letters?
you up. Yeah.
I mean, if you guys want to speak, you know, like proper English, right? Like there's letters or
I
there's
think the
periods.
periods add gravitas.
I agree, Neil. Totally.
Dennis.
I totally agree. I'm sorry for the inconvenience, guys,
I
but I'm
might
not
start
changing.
calling you Dennis. Would that
Please.
upset you?
No, not at all.
What about Denny?
Yeah,
How do you feel about
that's
that?
proper
Uh,
cash.
Guys, I'm past the point of getting upset about it. You call me anything you want. You bring it on. Whatever
All
you
right.
got.
Well, listen. See that I'm
That's
glad you guys
great.
reacted the same way. Shout out to listener Casey. Congrats on
Nasty
the
Neil.
the growing family.
See,
Nasty Neil.
if I start calling Dennis, he's gonna start calling me Little Stevie.
Yeah, there's plenty
We
of
don't want that.
exactly. We got plenty of comeback on you.
And
Uh,
my second one for the road is I got into the refuge, our message board, Secret Santa this year, and it's been fantastic. And my Secret Santa gift showed up a couple days ago, and I want to shout out Frodo, refuge user Frodo. He sent me a couple of books based on our booth episodes, Cody. One by Hampton Sides that I haven't read yet, an author I really liked that I've read a couple of his books. And then he sent me back here on my sticker board. He sent me a John Gruden sticker, a Gruden grinder sticker, and he
like
sent me a
that.
Zin ball marker, with Zin
Really?
on it. Yeah, I was
that's
like,
really good.
awesome, and a nice handwritten note, and just a thoughtful. I was like, "What's this package?" And I opened it up, and I just got such a kick out of it. So shout out to Frodo.
Neil, he reached out and asked me for ideas or recs, and I was like, "Dog, I have no idea. I have no clue."
Well, yeah,
So
TC
he
and I
did
are always
all
like
that
wondering
on
what
his
to get
own.
each other. We're like, dude, I
Yeah.
don't know, man. Like, Alex always asking me, what should I get? I'm like, I have no freaking clue. Better ingredients, maybe.
You know what? You guys will like this one. We have for our family, we hit a point a couple years ago that I think I actually am very proud of, because I think a lot of families want to hit this point where we're just like, yo, what are we doing? Like, please don't, parents, like, we don't need a bunch of stuff.
Sure.
Like, stressing out trying to buy stuff for each other here. So we just started doing this. We were doing it for albums at first because everybody has like their own record player. My brothers are very deep into that as well, and their significant others and my parents. And so take a draw, and you get one person, you have to buy a record for that person. So it was really fun. This year, we decided to do hats, which we've never, which I thought was like a great idea, just a hat exchange. Cody, I know, I was looking all around the world for a good hat for the dashboard. Next up will be a hat for my I can't say who my Secret Santa is,
don't let it out.
but that's on my list for this week.
God, what a sweet idea.
Is it a baseball hat or is it
Any
like
direction,
any sort of
you want,
headwear?
yeah.
Okay.
Any direction you want.
God, speaking of hats, I can't get past the Alabama Jones comment from last weekend. Mac, it was so good.
That's good stuff. That was good stuff, guys.
So I just want to, all I want to say is just shout out to the Secret Santa. I think that's a really good representation of the Nest, the message board. So you know what? I'm going to shoehorn in a Nest promo here.
I love it, man.
nolayingup.com/join. You can buy one for a golfer in your life. You can gift the Nest. But great time to
really
sign
good
up.
last minute gift.
Yeah, good last minute gift. And because annual Nest gift are going out in January, so they will bequeath them a gift in January from us. So yes, go sign up for the Nest. If you listen to 2 hours of this podcast, come on, baby, get in there. We'd love to have you on the message board.
Also, we got all sorts of great behind the scenes content. The one that's gonna come out from Scandinavia.
But just honestly, I would recommend you guys go check out the Refuge Secret Santa thread. It's the thoughtfulness. People are, just basically like random people on an internet message board are like getting these thoughtful ass gifts for people based on like, oh, I saw you post about this like 8 months ago. I thought you'd like this. It's awesome. So it's fantastic.
Good stuff, guys. What a fun one here on December 22nd. Good to spend some time together. Good to relive the year a little bit. A lot of great memories on the golf course this year. So thanks for walking through them. Cody, thank you for the expert production, all the graphics and photos and videos tonight. Thank you to Solly, who had to hop off. Thanks to Titleist. Thanks to the USGA. Go check out your Jin Rewind as well. And gang, we'll be back next week. We got another couple good ones here before the year comes to a close. Until then, cheers.
Cheers.